lovely to see you. Thank you very much for joining me. And Happy New Year to every one of you. It's lovely to see all the people, lots of eager people, come to see me today. And I do hope that you're all well, because that's the most important thing, that everybody is well. And whatever Christmas one had this year or last year now, we've got to look forward, haven't we? So let's do just that with wishing you brighter days. And this is this month, January 2020. It is the card kit for this month. So I'm showing you this all in one go, really. There are so many new things starting up, but really they're starting up from Monday because that's when the suppliers reopen. So we've got this lovely little card to start off with. And it's a little bit of a twofer, as they say, in as much as we've got a fun fold as well. So when we open up our card, we open our card up to like that. So we've got all the writing in there. But it's what you call, hold on, I'm going to bring the camera up a bit more now. It's what you call a Dutch fold. So now that we've left the EU, we'll start calling them Dutch. Oh, perhaps we shouldn't call it Dutch anymore. But anyway, that's what it's called, Dutch fold. So it sits up there like that. So the card kit will be available to order from now, but it won't be actually coming out until Wednesday, because I have to wait for the suppliers to reopen and get their act into gear. But there are some lovely things coming up here. So let me show you how to make this little one and explain all about the card kits. So the card kits are run so that you follow a YouTube video, but you also have written instructions. And I didn't do them for a long time last year, and we sort of got waylaid with everything, but they were popular. And when we introduced them back in December, I think November as well, actually, they proved to be very popular. And it's something different to do and see how it all goes. So let us show you what comes in the kit. So, the kit comes with the card. Now, the card will vary because the colour of the card will vary because it will coincide with the glitter that you get. So you've got card, you've got double-sided sheet of sticky, because we need that. You've got this die, which is one of the September releases from Sue Wilson, which is called Wishing You Brighter Days. And you've also got a pack of the iZink Superfine glitter. And as I said, that will vary, but the glitter will go with whatever colour card that you've got. And you also will get in your pack a selection of little flowers, which are already pre-cut for you. And they will be in your pack to use as well. So the only things that you need to have are an embossing folder of some sort, any sort, little flower, and your own glue, and that type of thing. So there's nothing else that you will need. Everything else will be there for you. So how do we make this card? So let's make a start. So first of all, I'm going to make the card base itself. And it's a really simple one, but it looks, I think, very effective. So I've got my A4 piece of card, and I'm going to bring in my scoring tool here and turn it on so it's this is a piece of linen card, and there is most definitely a back and a front to it, so I'm going to score on the back side of it. So I'm going to score along here, along the long piece, at 7.5 centimetres and 22.5 centimetres. And if you get the kit, all of these instructions will be included in it. And then I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to measure from the 8 centimetre mark down to that first fold there. And then the beauty of this the beauty of this scoring board is that it's got measurements down the bottom as well. So when I want to do 8 centimetres there, I can do that too. And that is 8 centimetres up to that score line. And then 14 centimetres all the way down. So that's it. We don't need any more but that. I'm going to put that to one side. And I'm going to use scissors for this. Now you could use a hobby knife, craft knife. You could use your die cutter, your paper trimmer, but I'm going to use my big scissors because I find that's just as easy. And I'm going to cut along this line here. So this is the bottom of the card. And we know it's the bottom because we've got that score line is going to be the top of the card. Okay, and then I'm going to completely remove these two panels here. So just down to there. And then this one down to there. These pieces are waste. And then we've got our card base here. So I'm just going to score along those, burnish along those lines there. So that's our fold there and our fold there. And then this fold, which is the top. Now, I will just point this out to you so that you don't think that you've done it wrong. This fold here will come over the top of these just by a fraction, if you can see what I mean there. So it's not meant to meet it absolutely in the middle. It just comes over the top there. And these two here do not fit in. It's not like a gatefold card. They're not absolutely fitting. And that is, again, meant to be like that. Okay, because we need to have something to hold this. So that's our base card. We're done. This will fit into a 6x6 envelope. It is slightly different size than a 6x6. It's just a fraction shorter on one side, but it's all done for you. So that's the card base. I'm going to pop that to one side for the moment. Oh, and you've gone a bit wonky. So we don't want you a bit wonky now, do we? So then we're going to take our lighter piece of card. So in this case, I've got a darker purple and a lighter purple. And I'm going to cut out the panels for the embellishments of it. Oh, oops, sorry. I put that in the wrong place, really. So again, measurements will all be written down for you for the kit, but the first piece is 14.5 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres. That's that piece done. Then this piece is 14.5 centimetres, which we've already cut, and 6.5 along that way. And then from this piece, we need two pieces, which are 7.5 centimetres. And then they are by 6.8. Now, I know that's a very funny size, but it just needs to be just that fraction different. Okay, so there's two pieces, three pieces. Now, these pieces need to be embossed. And as I said, it's down to you, whichever embossing folder you want to use. I've chosen one today, which is an old one. I've no idea what it's called, but it's got some roses or something. I think maybe you can see it, but it's irrelevant what it's called. Now, this piece here is waste, so we would, well, waste, it's hardly a piece of waste, but we won't need it. So I'm going to pop that to one side, but I need to now emboss these pieces. Now, don't make the mistake of cutting this and then embossing it and then cutting it, because you don't want to ruin the, you don't want to squash the embossing that you've already done. So I just need to check, and I think I'm going to do it that way around. I'm turning the paper around because I want the embossing to be on the right side. So I'm going to pop those through my embossing machine. Might just check this. Just pop those through. So as I say, you can use any embossing folder, whatever you've got, possibly not a Christmassy one. It's going to clonk in a minute. A Christmassy one might look a tad wrong at this stage, and I think we've probably had enough of Christmas, haven't we? So there we've got this pretty pattern there, but you decide whatever you want to use. So I'm going to assemble this onto my card. I'm just going to take some glue and I'm going to put the panel here. Whoops, it's just going to sit on top of that one there. So that's the top panel. Like that. And then these panels, which I've already managed to get a bit of glue on, they're going to go in there like that. So while I'm sticking these, how did your Christmas go? Was it okay? Not what we expected. We, like many areas of the country, we're in tier 4 now, as I think we will be for a little while yet. And things aren't going to get back to anywhere near normal for quite some time. And aren't we lucky that we have got craft to do? I really don't know what I would do if I didn't have something like craft to keep me going. I really don't. And I think a lot of people have said that to me over the holiday time, that, you know, there's lots of things that you're busy with, but there's many hours to fill, isn't there, when we've got all this lockdown rubbish. But hey ho, so it be. It's the only way forward, I think. Well, even if it isn't, that's what we've got to do, isn't it? So there you go. There's my card finished as such, but now we've got the best bit to come. So let me just show you. We've got those panels that fold over there like that. And then this one comes down there like that. I'm just going to turn that over so we can pop all those bits. So there's my panel card ready to go. So pop that to one side and let's make our lovely inner piece. Now, going to need my white piece of card, which I've already taken and cut one of my sentiment dies from. Let me show you how the die comes. We have 2 dies in the actual packet. So we've got an outer die, which is a really pretty scalloped edge, sort of fat oval, I think you could call that. So that's one. And then you've got this one, which cuts out in one as well. So you don't need these 2 together, as you often do, in order to cut that out. That one cuts out like that with that outer die on its own. So I've already cut it out in white, and I'm now going to take my second piece of what I'd call my darker colour card. So it might not be, when you get yours, it might not be mauve, it might be a dark blue or a dark green or whatever. And I'm going to pop a little bit of tape onto here and then just run that through my machine. So I'm onto the die cutting part of it as opposed to, whoops, oh, crash bang wallop. I did sort of tidy my craft room. If any of you were watching when I was saying that I was tidying my craft room, it did happen. But unfortunately, it's sort of all more or less gone back to normal again, because I've been in it since, and that's the trouble, isn't it? That is just the trouble. So okay, so I have now got 2. Now, I'm not actually going to use all 2 of them. I'm going to use parts of them. So I just need to take out some bits and pieces first. So there are quite a few bits and pieces. Now, if you feel really inclined, you could do some paper piecing with this. And I had a chat to the lovely June about this, but I decided it wasn't quite what I wanted to do in the end anyway, June. So I got it though. I did do what I needed to do with it, but then I changed my mind. So if you feel inclined, you could paper piece, but there are lots of other ways to make this die look really pretty. So I've got the white one on the top. And if you wanted to do this a second time, you could obviously, you've got enough card that you could do the lighter colour in this as well. So you've got in the pack and a lot of different coloured, different options there. But I decided we would go with this one to start off with. So whilst I'm fiddling about with this one, just to say, as I said, there are loads of things coming up. So watch this space. There are already quite a few. I've been able to update the website over the last few days, and there are quite a few new things on there anyway. So do have a look if there was something that you were looking for. It may well have been back in stock already, because I did have a couple of deliveries over the last couple of days. Or rather last week, I should say. So there may well be things that you have been looking out for. The press cut nesting dies are not back in stock just yet, but they will be very, very soon. So I've got all my bits and pieces out of that lovely thing. Okay, so that, whoops, that is that piece. Now this piece, I don't actually need to go and get all of those things out, because what I'm going to do with this one is simply trim out the words wishing you brighter days. So I'm just going to look, oops, let's bring this in a bit so that you can see. Whoops, a daisy. Okay, I'm just going to trim out where those letters are. So just a case of trimming wherever I think the letters are. Now you can obviously, you can move it around and see as you go. There's not very many places in actual fact. And if you don't, if you don't make it absolutely, it doesn't matter, because most of it's going to be hidden. So don't worry about whether you've got it absolutely right or not. You don't need to be particularly careful, because we're going to be hiding this little piece. So when it comes to the W there, don't worry that we haven't got the complete W. So then we've got a little bit holding it there, and whoops, that little bit there. And then we've got the word brighter days down here. And that bit there. So I'm not being careful what I'm, going round in, not in circles, but going round the edges. I'm not having to worry about that. I'm just literally cutting out that sentiment so that it's more or less intact, and then all this bit here is waste. Okay, so I'm just going to take out, because I don't want to have those little bits there, just a few. Whoops, and that bit there. And I've left the little daisy in just because it looks quite nice on the end of that. And that is that. So then I'm going to take my white piece and I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto the back of this piece. I could put it onto the front of that. It sort of varies, whichever you fancy having a go with. Let me get, going to be a bit, going to get my glue glaze to do it. And I'm just going to wipe the glue glaze onto the back of those words. Now it doesn't have to be completely on everything, because we're going to be sticking the whole wording thing down in a minute. So however you whatever glue you want to put on to just get a bit of a hold on those words. Okay. Then we're going to just hover that over the top, because what I want to do is just give it a bit of a background, a bit of a back shadow, I should say, rather. So I'm just going to move it so that it is roughly, let me show you on there, I think you can see it better. And hopefully you can see that by putting that darker piece on there, it just, you'll be able to see it more in a minute, but you'll just be able to see that that shows the actual wording that bit better than just before, when it was completely amongst the dye, but you couldn't see it quite so well. And that's what we want to do. We want to wish people brighter days. So this die is ideal for anything. It can be for a birthday, but it could even be a new year card, or just to say you're thinking of somebody. It really, you know, is quite a versatile card here. So just wobble the camera around a bit. So now we're going to do our background on it, and you will have some white card left. So one of your white pieces will have been to take out this piece here. So you've still got another piece left, and you've got a piece of double-sided sticky sheet. So I'm going to peel off the back of it, which could be fun. No, we're okay. So that this hasn't got any sticky. This is where the sticky is. So it's on the back of there. And I'm just going to pop that straight down onto the top of my white piece of card, like that. So I'm going to keep that piece still on there, because if I took that off, that would all be sticky. But I'm going to cut out my oval from there. Okay, so I'm going to get some tape, I should say, and just stick that into position and run that through my machine. Make sure I've got all the bits off first. Oh, getting a crash bang wallop. Sorry about all the noise. Right, let's pop that through. There we go. So I've now cut that through. Take the tape off. Like that. So that's just our outer die that we had with that. Now I'm going to get myself a piece of spare paper. This is hardly spare paper, but this is what is going to go on. Just going to do it onto here so that we can see. And on the other side, when we take this off, this will leave a completely sticky piece. So this area here is very, very sticky. And then it's going to solve two problems. One is that we want to stick this down, and the other one is that it's going to give us something to stick the glitter to. So I'm going to just, if you look, you will be able to see, I don't know if you can see, maybe you can see it better on here, that there is actually like a little rim here. If you can see that, there's like a little rim, which will show you a guideline of where the die should go. I'm just going to hover that over the top and just try and get that fairly central if I can. And then I will use this, the carrier sheet, just to press it down, because obviously if I press it with my fingers, there's sticky still in lots of places. So that solves the problem of having to get anything stuck down there. And as I said, now with the wording, you can see that that stands out that much more. So then we're going to get our lovely glitter. So the glitter comes in a pouch. loads in there, and it is a super fine glitter, so it will feel a little bit silky. It's not got that rough edge to it. So I'm going to sprinkle that all over, and with my finger I'm going to rub it in to my project so that it is in all the little bits and pieces, all the little nooks and crannies that it can be. So although I sprinkled loads of it on, there is loads left. And I thought, why do we just need to have glitter at Christmas when we do wish people brighter days and with a bit of glitter? So I've taken the worst off, and then I'm just going to use my an old paintbrush just to take off the very top surface, in case there's a few bits that haven't adhered to the actual sticky stuff but that still want to stay around and be part of a card, and they can't. They're getting rid of them. So this is just to pick up those little bits. Okay, so then we've got really pretty, and as I said, the glitter pots that pour that back in there, the glitter pots, glitter pouches, all the glitters are so pretty. There are lots of different glitters. I won't be putting the Christmas colours in, because I don't think we want Christmas colours with something like this. So the silvers, the golds, the bright reds, the bright greens, they aren't going to be part of the pack, but you're going to have the pastel colours, so the violets, the pinks, the pale greens, and all the lovely colours that these ones will go with. So that's our card. Not our card, that is our front piece. So let's bring in our back piece here again, so our main card, and then this is going to go onto the front there. So in order to stick it on there, we need to just pop this top bit on. So I'm just going to put glue on the top half, because we only need to stick it to here. And I'm going to sort of centralize it. So now that you can see, we've got something that is a sort of a 6x6 more or less. I'm just going to pop that all down. Then I'm going to just take some of my flowers. Now it depends on what colour you want to use. So it's the colours of the background here. I'm going to bring in my embossing tool if I could see it. I knew I dropped something. That's exactly what I dropped, so I need that. So these are from the small flowers from John Next Door. There are just a few more of those plates left. I think 3 or 4, literally 3 or 4 left on the website there. I think I'm going to use the dark ones actually. They're going to look better. And they cut out 1 plate, but you will have this done for you. So actually I think we need a smaller one for that. This will all be done for you, the cutting out of it, so you can just choose. And I think there's about 20 little flowers of all different sizes, or more, I'm not sure actually. I haven't bothered to count them. But there's lots of selection there for you. And if you've got your own glues and glitters at home, you may want to use those as well. So I'm looking at the pattern, and wherever there is a little flower, I am going to pop that onto the centre. So there's a variety of flowers, and I'm only going for the ones that are, there's some very tiny ones, and I'm going to leave them white, but I'm just going to go for the ones that are actually more of an obvious flower, shall we say. And I'm not going, because they're different sizes and everything, I'm just going to go for putting them in those places, but not necessarily worrying about what size they are, just randomly putting them in. just think they look very pretty. So leaving it with some of the white behind looks pretty as well. So we've got another one up here and another one there. And this one here. Whilst I'm fiddling with this, thank you very much for all of your replies to the poll that I said, what would you like to see? And I'm really pleased to say that everybody wants to see just more of what we already have, which is brilliant. So that's going to be going ahead. We will be back as normal on Wednesday with the Wednesday Wonder. A few bits and pieces that will be available then. And then Fancy Friday, usual times and everything. And you will get, if you're a member on the Facebook group, you will get a reminder that is all going to go on and what times and everything. I don't want to throw those. I think that looks quite good. And I think that I'm just going to put a few little gems in the centre. Now I've got a sheet of gems here. If I knew where the packet was, there we are. I'm just going to, now these are, I have to say, these are cheap gems in as much as they are then all joined. Okay, so I will pop my bit of glue in the centre there. I might regret this. No, I don't think I do regret it. Just want to add a few little gems into the centre. So I've chosen pink. Oh, gold. I know people use tweezers to get these little bits, and I really, really wish that I too could use tweezers. But do you know what? To use a pair of tweezers for me seems like someone's told me to use it left-handed. I can't. I do admire it when I see people picking up everything and using it all with tweezers. And I have tried, but it's no good. I can't do it. So fingers, and it looks like fingers and thumbs. Fingers it is. Now, obviously, you don't have to put little gems in it, but I just think it looks quite nice just to finish them up. Oh. But there you go. You don't really tune in just to see me do that, did you? Eh? But it's nice to be back with you all. It's nice to, well, be talking to myself again. Yeah, because nothing changes there, does it? The staff have been very busy packing all the mystery parcels, which are all ready to go out to you tomorrow. So they are all on your way. And don't forget that this, if you do want to take part in this kit and you would like some of the kit, then this will not be going out until Wednesday. So and should be available for a bit longer than just a few days, because obviously I can get more of this one. I've got to see it through. I've got to see it through to the last bit, and I'm getting in a pickle with my little gems. So let's start another line there. Little gems are all very well as long as they stick, aren't they? Oops. That one there, and the last diddly one there. There. That's good. So let me clear this away because you don't need bright yellow in there to show you what you're doing. So here is my pinky mauvey version, and here is my blue version. So they are exactly the same. They've been made into what they call a Dutch fold card, so that that will sit up on your mantelpiece. Mantelpiece, golly, that's an old-fashioned thing, isn't it? Like that. The only difference would be it's your embossing folder, because it's the embossing folder that you've got, not the one that I've got, and you just do whatever you like with that. You could obviously keep it plain, you don't have to emboss it. And then inside there, you've got your piece where you can write your message of encouragement, I reckon, of wishing you brighter days. And that's what I wish you, brighter days. Brighter days are around the corner, but we've got a little way to go. So let's enjoy doing a bit more crafting. And you have got this kit all ready to go for this one. So we will be back, as I say, on this Wednesday, which is the 6th of January, and that will be at 11 o'clock, same place here. And oh, I've got so many things to show you. I really don't know where to start first, but there's lots of different techniques and things that I've been looking up for you over the last couple of weeks. So there's loads of things there for you to see. So thank you very much for joining me. Just looking at any messages. You've enjoyed listening to me waffle on, have you? That's good. And I did do some paper piecing. You are quite right. I took the little swirl on this one of the dark blue just to put onto there. But then, to be absolutely honest with you, I lost the will to live of doing the other one. So that's why I didn't do those, because I'm not that fiddly person, as you probably saw when I was trying to fiddle with the gems. But nevertheless, if you are a fiddly person, if you see what I mean, you've got a lot more scope to be able to do that paper piecing if that's the sort of thing you want to do, or just do it plain like that. Or if you just wanted, you could, now I haven't cut this one through, but you could do it a slightly different way, so that you have the coloured piece. You've got plenty of card to do this on your pack. You could do your coloured piece onto white card and then do it, a different way like that. So that one looks nice as well with the pink glitter behind it. So there's lots of choice. You can do either or. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining me, everybody, today. Have a good day, a safe day. And I can't wait to see you again on Wednesday if you can make it. Don't forget that there are it's blah, 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 blah. I hope you like my language there. Don't forget that this is a YouTube video, so you will be able to look at this again and again and again, or never again, whichever you prefer, on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to it, then you can chat away, and you'll also be able to save it as one of your bestest favourites ever, because I'm sure you'd like to do that. But at least it's there, okay? So, and also comments afterwards be fantastic. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.